Good morning, this is Robin Beaver on Chart Talk on the 26th of May at 6:50 in the morning London time. The chart in front of us is June RBOB. More of that in a moment. On Friday, all the contracts put in a classic textbook correction lower from moving below the 5-day to the 8-day moving average. You can see this here. The red line is the 5, the blue is the 8. From the 5 to the 8 and held and then recovered to close very close to the 5-day moving averages on all contracts except WTI, which closed over the 5-day. These were promising closes, suggested the uptrend remained intact, and the move yesterday, holiday action, over the 5-day moving average was positive. I say holiday action, just a caveat. When markets make holiday moves on the day when a lot of participants are not around, it's dangerous. It's not necessarily conclusive, and in fact it's often far from conclusive. So we need to stay above the 5-day moving averages today, or at worst case the 8-day. However, having said that, yesterday's action has green lighted targets higher, and those targets are 34.72 WTI, 36.29.40 Brent, 102.80 heat, 107.57 RBOB, and 307.50 gas oil. Now we'll take each contract in turn, but RBOB also closed over 105.59, the critical correction point which we see on the weekly chart here. Now if we look at the weekly chart, you can see very clearly that this 105.59 level is a real pivot and an important level over here, and the chances are that it runs on higher to its target to 107.57. Now dealing with each contract in her turn, RBOB over 105.59 has a target to 107.57. We've hit 106.83. A move and close over 107.57 would have it up to the more challenging and key 108.85 50% correction point, where it failed last week, you may recall. If we get over there, then the bullish restraint is off, or rather the restraint on the bulls is off, and away we go. So at the moment, over the 5-day moving average, up to 107.57 on RBOB. We must hold above the 5 and the 8-day moving averages to continue the momentum higher. WTI has a target higher to 34.72. It would then need a move and close over 35.18 here to get green lighted up to the next target at 37.64 area. It has some resistance at 36.35, which would be the initial target after 34.72. It's held the 5 and 8-day moving averages very well, and it's running higher at the moment. It must hold above the 5-day moving average at 33.75 to maintain the momentum. If it moves back below the 5-day at 33.75, look for a retest of the 8-day at 32.74, and only a close below 32.74 would suggest the uptrend is in serious trouble. Brent is very similar. It's virtually hit its target higher to 36.29.40 with a high at 36.28 so far. It's in good shape whilst it's above the 5-day at 35.74, but must not close below the 8-day at 35.08. The 5-day is the indicator of the momentum above there, and we've got momentum higher. The 8-day is the uptrend support. Must not close below the 8-day, and a move back below the 5-day would suggest a rerun of the last 2 days, which would be a retest of the 8 and then holding. It must hold, obviously, the 8-day. Now, heating on has a target to 102.80, this high here, valid whilst it's above the 5-day at 99.48. with the 8-day at 98.43. Those two are the key supports. The 5-day, the momentum, the 8-day, the uptrend. Gas oil has a target to 307.50, valid whilst it stays over the 5-day moving average at 297.25 area. Ideally, it shouldn't close below the 5-day, because if it does, it could easily test the 8-day at 293.50 area. To sum up briefly, the contracts are over the 5-day. Whilst over the 5-day, they maintain momentum higher to the target levels. Then be careful. If they were to fail at the 5-day moving average, then we can expect a retest of the 8-day like the last 2 days, and the 8-day must hold. The trend is only in serious trouble if the 8-day moving averages fail to hold as support. Below the 5-day merely means this momentum is giving up a bit. Staying over the 5-day maintains the momentum higher and targets higher. Now, if we just have a look at a bit of structure, the Deck Red Deck TI here, the right-hand chart is showing some upside. It's above the 5-day at minus 264 and looks like it could easily test this recent high here, which comes in at around about, comes in at minus 223. So we could easily get back up to 223 there. And the Deck Red Deck Brent is at the 5-day at 340. It's just above there. It needs to hold that 5-day to be moving up to close to minus 3. The 60-minute charts are not totally reliable this morning, but both Brent here, which is showing itself to be a little bit toppy, and RBOB, also showing itself to be a little bit toppy but on very light volume, suggests that the market could easily pull back a little bit. Whether it will achieve its targets first or not, it's already done so on Brent, but it looks like we're due to correct back lower a little bit on the overnight exuberance. That's all for today, folks. Good luck, good trading, and bon appetit.